Let's start the show.
Good evening, YouTube, and welcome back to jojoSPEAKS. Thank you guys so much for joining us this evening for another night of hot topics and social commentary. A couple things I want you guys to do before we get started. Be sure to press that big old subscribe button. It is free to do. It takes less than half of a second to press that button. So go ahead and press it for us. Also, be sure to give us a thumbs up on this video, leave us a comment, press that notification bell, and make sure you share jojoSPEAKS all around with all of your friends, family, loved ones. Let them know that we are out here in these streets. Got my crew back, Jennifer, Tyrone, and Mike. What's going on, y'all?
Hello.
All right, so let's get the boring stuff out of the way first. So on Saturday, Trump announced on his social media platform that he will be arrested on this past Tuesday for the indictment as a result of an indictment he's expecting up in New York. Now it is now Thursday, and he is still a free man. Now he does have quite a few cases out there. I know that there's another case in Georgia that I am like almost 100% sure he will be in because they have phone call evidence of him trying to bribe people to get votes to overturn the results of the 2020 election in Georgia. But are we expecting to see an indictment for Trump in New York? What do you think will come out of this? Because it's really only a misdemeanor charge. They're going to try to turn it into a felony charge, but we're not exactly sure all the ins and outs of that. But do we expect to see Trump locked up? He said that he's preparing for his perp walk. He said he wasn't sure if he's going to smile during his perp walk. He told people to protest. Okay, like he is out here trying to make something out of something. So what do you guys think about this whole situation? Do you think Trump's going to jail, y'all?
I think it's really logical and funny that he's bragging about going to, I wouldn't say bragging about it, but he's making it a mockery to me. Yeah. When you're posting yourself, oh, I'm going to go to jail Tuesday, when he really knows that it's not probably going to happen. I just think it's not that funny. And then it's like, you were a president at the end of the day. How? I don't know, but right. You was. You need to show some more respect and then be more apologetic for just being you.
That was lovely. I love that. That was awesome. I personally believe that that's not going to happen anytime soon. As far as him going to jail, as far as litigation is concerned, it's certainly going to happen for sure because people are putting things against him. But as far as him going to jail, I don't think that's happening anytime soon. To be honest, I believe what he did. Oh gosh, did you have that thing up with the allegedly and all that stuff? Okay.
Yes, it's scrolling.
What he certainly did, in my opinion, allegedly, was, in my opinion, some of the same things that he did to incite, allegedly, January 6th.
Right.
He's saying what he felt like he needed to say to get his base going. Though there was tens of 5 people in front of the Trump Plaza, all 7 of them up there, plenty of people out there protesting. And also there was all of the what was it? Oh, he was able to raise $1.5 million from doing that. So I believe he did everything for that reason. He needed to raise money. And his base, unfortunately, is doing that. I've actually heard horror stories of people's parents sending this man all their 401k, sending him all their monies, all their savings, $500,000, really big amounts, so that they can donate to Trump.
Wow.
So, God bless all of them.
Right. Tyrone, what are your thoughts on Mr. Donald Trump, number 45?
Genius, maybe. It's Donald Trump's tomfoolery all over again. I could see it coming. It wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
And
especially if he said it.
If he said it, you got to fact check it. And that's what I did. I'm sitting there like, okay, you live in Florida, and they supposed to come arrest you in New York. Really?
So he just played it up.
Now there are a lot of Republicans out here who are saying this is very politically motivated. Now, do I believe this is politically motivated? Yes, in these terms, it absolutely is. Because they're saying that the DA in New York is ignoring crimes that are going on in his own state to go out of his way to indict Trump. But at the end of the day, Trump still broke the law. So he still has to be brought to justice. So, either it was going to happen or it wasn't going to happen. So I think they would have said it was political regardless. Mm-hmm. And I do still think that it is very political. And I'm not going to lie about that. Do you guys think this is a political move as well?
It can be, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's you finally getting in trouble for something, and now you're like, oh no, not me! Don't come after me. Go after everybody else. You still trying to find a way to get away with your misdeeds.
Yeah, when they've been doing whatever he wants to do for so many years, it's like, hey, it's about time. All right. Aaron says, hi, everyone.
Hey, Aaron. What's going on, boo?
Oh, yeah. Hey. It's like I've been talking to you all this time. Anyway, the Juice Radio and Talk Show says hello.
Hey,
y'all.
Regina.
Hello.
Okay, Mike, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but we have reached over there over 750 subscribers thus far.
Yes.
From just like 3-something earlier in the week.
Right.
And of course, the reason why is because of the interview that's about to be done with Pastor Scott.
Friday.
So,
tomorrow.
At noon.
I wish I was off for that interview, but I'm sure going to be checking in.
Oh, I'm gonna be right there. I'm gonna be right there. And even if I don't talk,
yes, ma'am. Hold on one second, ma'am. Okay, I'm gonna be research the account.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Just give me one moment, please.
Okay.
Uno momento, por favor. Okay.
All right.
Kindly. Tammy's in here. Say hello.
Hey, Tammy.
And of course, the wonderful Miss Erin. She says hello to Juice as well as Tammy. And Tammy says hi to Erin. She now calls her E because we're family. And and of course, the Juice says we say hello to everybody. I'm sorry, y'all.
Thank you.
Oh gosh, even more. Oh, and we have Miss Vernice. She came on over. Hi, Miss Vernice. Welcome on over. We love to have you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And of course, there was greetings between her and Aaron. And Tammy says it was a nice campaign stunt.
Oh yeah, it was.
It was.
Publicity stuff for sure.
Thoroughly. And she also says his bonehead.
Look, I honestly believe he made it up on purpose.
I think so too. Just to make the money. Because he got $1 million out of it, y'all. Aaron says, my opinion is he thought people would care. And there were 3 people who showed up and cared. People. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Now, you know where everybody else was?
Where everybody else was.
Where's Ivanka?
Working.
I mean, not Ivanka.
Working.
What's her name? Yeah, Ivanka at. That's his wife.
No, Ivanka went to... Wait,
no.
Is she the first?
No, that was his first wife.
Okay, what's the one that he's married to now?
Melania.
Where's Melania? Because we haven't seen her since he left office.
She takes care of her baby boy.
And I'm happy.
That's all she cared about.
We saw Michelle Obama take care of 2 kids and her husband. We saw her all the time looking fabulous. Okay.
Okay.
But she also wasn't. Well, she also didn't have to defend her husband either with anything.
No.
So I guess that makes a difference.
Tabby says his boneheaded base and media bought right into it. Absolutely. Right. And Regina. Aaron says 755 subscribers on the Juice Radio and Talk Show.
Yes.
And
congratulations, Regina.
This is amazing. And Regina's laughing. But yes,
that interview is going to be
a saga that will continue to go on.
Right. So in other news, I'm very sad to announce that Uganda has passed a bill criminalizing those who identify as LGBTQ+. Violations under this law include death and life imprisonment. Now, this is not something new to countries in Africa who are outlawing LGBTQ+ people. They are very much so that. There's also a lot of discrimination in the Caribbean as well when it comes to us. I just wanted to speak on this briefly. I just pray for those who are out there who are not able to live their lives openly. I pray that they're able to find a way to live their lives as authentically as they can within the parameters of those laws. We always talk about, coming out of the closet, but these people will be criminalized for actually saying who they are and who they love. Any comments on that before we move forward to the next story?
I'm not seeing that on. I'm not even going to say anywhere I've seen that because they don't pay us nothing. But when I've seen that, I started reading the comments, and I just need to stop doing that because if I can go slap every last person that I read,
every single one, I
would, because it was like, oh yes, get them. That's because it's a sin, and like if we went to jail for every sin that somebody did other than being gay, everybody would be in jail. Even the people who saying that's good for them, they would be in jail. Because my thing is, if everybody would just shove out hate regardless of what sin you do, it'll be so much hate in the world all the time. So I wish people just mind their business. And my thing is, if you don't agree with a way that somebody lives their life, just don't live your life that way.
Exactly.
Or don't be in their face.
Period. Like, don't hang out with that person, that type of person. If I don't have somebody who does crack, I don't hang out with people crackheads. Okay, it's just simple as that. I can go on a whole tangent and write a post about crackheads being who they are. It makes no sense.
Right.
Crack is whack. First off.
Yeah, I wouldn't even go into their comments talking about how whack crack is.
Well, and the comment I made was, y'all are so foolish, and because just because you don't like one thing, but I was crying earlier this year when we tried to get women to not have abortions. Everybody was crying because we were saying that we're messing with women's body. We're putting our opinion on it, but then you're putting your opinion on how people live their lives. So what's the difference here?
Exactly. If you want women to be able to make their own choices concerning their own bodies, then why is it that the LGBTQ+ community can't do the same thing?
But ridiculous. You know what? I just won't be going to Uganda. I just know that for sure. So,
yes, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
that's not the country for me.
They won't be getting none of my tourist money.
Right.
It's so disheartening because for me, I'm thinking back in comparison to this, it wasn't that long ago interracial couples went through the same thing.
Right.
Oh, if y'all together, we gonna kill you. If y'all together, we gonna put you in jail. Or we gonna put you out the country. How we need grow up. Just grow up.
Grow up and mind your business.
The thing is, gay people are not going anywhere. That's the only thing. Gay people are not going anywhere. Gay people is going to exist in this world and in this country and in every continent for as long as we have breath in our body. You can know somebody who's gay, bisexual, transsexual. You're gonna know somebody who's part of the LGBTQ community. So just like it's criminals, we probably know murderers, sex offenders, people who cheat on their spouses, people who commit adultery. I mean, all sin is going to exist in the world. So let it go.
And just to take it a step further, I don't even see it as sin. Let's just.
Well, I'm just going by what
entirely
that's the word of the street.
Because you have to look further into the context of it and what they were talking about, and it was not necessarily talking about being homosexual. It was talking about touching on children's. But you got to think of the homosexual man that constituted that writing, Mr. King James himself, they wrote that change things. But you know,
half the Bible can be, what's the word? It can be
interpreted.
And everybody has their own interpretation. Okay, and I think what happens with people is, and I'm guilty of it too. We will, spin things to make it reach around us to make it fit.
Right.
Exactly. And people do that so often.
Yeah, often. So I'm over it. I'm gonna live my life. That's what I told Lil Nas X in the post. I don't doubt he read it, but my thing is, live your life how you want to live it, because people are going to talk about you if you live it the way they want you to live it, and then people talk about you the way you want to live your life. So you can't satisfy everybody. So the hell with it. So just live your life how you want to live your life.
Period. And I truly believe that the bulk of it is just simply ignorance. It's like people trying to understand what you will never understand because you're not attracted to the same sex, or try to put reason and fault to everything. It's like it's not for you to understand. If you, man,
I just feel like they will accept a murderer more than they will accept somebody who's part of the LGBTQ community,
and that's sad.
That's the truth, but all of it stems from fear.
It does.
That's it.
Like all of it is fear and misunderstanding. You don't understand it and don't desire to. My thing. The fear is
scared of going on in somebody else's house.
No, the fear is it's going to come over to here. Just like when African Americans began to populate as free slaves, so people feared that we were going to revolt and overtake them.
So you think they did
things?
The gay people going to revolt and take over?
That's what people think.
Well,
after our children, they're trying to put it and implant it into our kids' head. Well, look at racism.
Well, yeah.
How many of y'all have gone out there and put racist things into your children's mind and watch them grow up? And you sit up there and laugh about it.
Child.
And then they go out there on a killing spree in New York.
Okay.
In a grocery store of people that have never touched them, never talked to them, never did anything, don't know from Adam or Eve.
And now you're blubbering in the court.
Now you're talking about, I'm innocent. Forgive me. No. You committed a sin then. What's the difference?
Aaron said, send in prayers. Please, God help. That's what
yeah, because I couldn't imagine. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I couldn't imagine. There's already so much hate going on just with individual people that you don't even know. But to be in a world where it could be hate, and then also I could be jailed, fined, and everything for it. It just, I can only imagine. But
Aaron, that's when you were talking about crackheads. She told me that. And she said, yes, Tyrone, Aaron says, and Juice says, oh, thanks, Aaron. And Tammy says, people get on my nerves with that noise, like they're walking on water.
Okay.
Who are they to say anything? Drives me crazy how nasty people can be. But let them think you coming after the Second Amendment and see.
Right. And the thing is, I always say this, you never know what people do behind closed doors.
Exactly.
It'd be the same people, it probably be the loudest people who are going against us anything, be the same people who happy that their secret ain't out yet.
Okay, laying the low and spreading the wide. Well, amen.
Okay, Mama Joyce. I mean, Mama Joyce, Mama Evelyn Braxton.
Yeah.
Laying low, spreading wide. And that's another side of it. There are the people that are hiding it themselves or questioning it within themselves and don't like that, or maybe those are the ones that feel like it's going to rub off on them.
Yeah.
Right. As my boy Tone /B Slade said, eventually them Timberlands going up in the air. I mean, it's they going up in the air, child. So
they ain't going up in my house because you got Timberlands on. You better be
you better do it on.
Okay. But anywho, moving forward.
So in foolishness and tomfoolery news, Singer Case came out in an interview and claimed that Charlie Wilson was a better singer than Luther Vandross. And I can't remember what he said, like, you know, the synonyms or the whatever he said to try to explain what he was trying to say. Like, are what?
I didn't even watch the interview because once I read the caption, I knew it was going to be some tomfoolery. Okay, because my thing is, I always said this. I think I said this on this show some shows back because we've been going for like a year now. I said, no. Luther Vandross, even though he's no longer here, he does not get the praise that he should be receiving because he is one of the pioneers of smooth singing. Like, that man can sing women and men.
Okay.
Under the rug, okay? Like that. I love Luther Vandross. I remember when he passed away, my mom was crying. I was in, I think, 6th grade. Like, I remember listening to when I fell in love with Luther Vandross. Ruben Studdard on American Idol was singing his songs. And I had to Google who was he singing, because if I'm in love with Ruben Studdard singing this song, I got to hear the original.
Come on.
Okay.
And they did a song with Beyonce, and you know I was all the way in after that.
Done.
Okay.
But his music is like silk, velvet. I mean, you cannot, and you can he's uncomparable. I don't think there's nobody who can be compared to Luther Vandross.
No,
that voice is like that.
Okay,
nobody can touch that. And I don't know what Case was thinking. He had to be under the influence of something to make a statement. Now, I like Charlie Wilson too.
I do too.
He's very talented. I'm not taking anything away from Charlie Wilson, but he damn sure ain't no Luther Vandross.
Right. Like you know, Charlie Wilson has his place in the music industry, and he's earned that. And you know, he is a legend, and no one can take that away from him. And I'm sure he'd probably disagree with those sentiments as well. But you know, Charlie Wilson, Subidoo Bop Tweet, and got ish on Luther Vandross's. Ooh.
Right.
Okay.
It's a song that Luther did. He was live, and he wasn't even by the mic, and he was like you could still hear it. It was on key.
Yes, sir.
You have to leave Luther alone. Luther, that's what the people that know him and like him call him.
I feel like, you know, a lot of times when we're having these types of discussions, talking about who's the better singer, a lot of times we're talking about apples and oranges. But
right. Exactly.
This situation right here,
we're talking about fruit and vegetables, okay? They're on the same category.
Okay.
Luther is at a whole nother level of singing. He took his time to finesse things. This is why I love live albums, especially his. Whenever I listen to his live from Radio City Music Hall album, all I can do is think about when we were driving down to Miami to go on the cruise, and it was dark, right? And we were listening to that live album. Daddy was singing, I was singing. It was just a moment. And that's how his music can bring people together. It not only is good music, but it sounds so appeasing to the ear. It
sounds good.
Right.
It sounds,
it would have come out today, it would still be like good today.
Yes.
Of course it would be.
Just the fact that so many of the songs are covers, and then you know you got to think about some of the more upbeat songs like Never Too Much and like The Best Things in Life Are Free. Like there's so many amazing songs that he has, and his voice is perfect, whether it's been the studio and of course even better live. And not a lot of people have that blessing to be able to hit them with the live notes and sound better than what they did inside
the studio. Yes.
And when it comes to Charlie, yes, that man sing up and down. He has his own thing. He is unique in his singing. There is no what was he a part of?
The Gap Band.
The Gap Band. There was ever no Gap Band without that man, Charlie Wilson. Right. He was doing it. He was writing it. He is a legend, and a lot of people still learn from him to this day.
Yes, that's good.
When it comes to that singing, I don't know how he even said his name in the same sentence.
Yeah, because Luther started being compared to nobody but Luther Vandross versus Luther Vandross.
Right, because Luther's voice is so authentic. There's nobody that sings like him. There's nobody that has his technique.
Nobody.
There's like, you know, people like Mariah Carey. She doesn't do duets with just anybody.
Okay,
and for Luther to not be overshadowed by her, and her wide range, you know, some people are just got it, and Luther just has it. So
y'all remember that video with Whitney Houston was singing "That's What Friends Are For," and she tried to go off, and then Luther was like, "Let me tell you something,"
and do it without even trying. Like he don't mean. Whew, like he just put the microphone to his mouth and it just comes out. Right. I see his music notes coming out and
effortless.
And nobody, female or male, in my opinion,
nobody
touching his beautiful.
You know, if he was still around, I would hope that he would get the praises that he deserved because he doesn't. I mean, nobody. It's like almost he never exists sometimes because he doesn't. He's no award, no like. I mean, I know he's gone, but still. He's definitely.
He needs more.
I think he paved the way for a lot of people to come in.
Singer.
Absolutely. Yes. Because I'm only 31, and I know Luther Vandross, and I mean at every picnic, cookout,
going to have a party.
When you want to clean your house,
bad boy.
Okay. When you just want some smooth music to leave your lead work, you want to calm your nerves.
Right.
I mean, he can be there for any time of the day.
Love power.
So Luther Vandross, rest in peace, because I don't know what Case was thinking about, but hunt him tonight.
Well, to be honest,
he said hunt him tonight.
To be honest, I certainly believe that he's still resting. I think he got a chuckle out of this.
I know he got a chuckle out of this.
I'm sure he did.
Charlie Wilson.
Okay, so Mr. Touch Me, Tease Me, think again, because you are WRONG wrong. Okay.
Wrong.
So speaking on a topic that I think we discussed, did we discuss it last week? I'm not sure if we discussed Spice last week, but Spice put out this picture of her being pregnant last week. And then she came out and said that she's not pregnant. She just says that she's living a new life. God has given her a new life. So was this a stunt? And if so, what was the point of her doing this?
It's been a minute since they last showed an episode of
Love and
Hip Hop Atlanta.
Well, we know Spice is very good for stunts. You know, one time she was saying that colorism is so open and so not open, but so that apparent in the music industry that she went white for a video.
Right. Skin.
Yeah, she changed her skin color, which looks like ashy to me. She looked white to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, sure, that's how they be looking.
Yeah. But yeah, so she's good for stunts. Now, that was too much for me, but I understood what she was doing.
Yeah.
Now, the pregnancy one, I mean, I know as artistry, you have to express yourself in different ways, but I don't know. I wasn't a fan of this one. And when I saw her pregnant, I was like, this is a stunt, because what happened was, I went to her page, and she was saying that she, in another week or so, she's going to do a live show. And she looked very pretty in that baby bump. I said, she can't do no live show with that kind of baby in her right now. No. All that bouncing around she's been doing on stage and stuff. So I kind of knew it was a stunt, but when she said it was a stunt, I'm like, it just turned me off a little. I don't know. It just turned me up. It wasn't funny to me. But who am I? I mean, that's how you want to express yourself. Girl, go ahead and do so. But I didn't find it funny.
Right. And, I think back to when Lil Nas X had that picture of him being pregnant. But the reason why he did it is because he was about to come out with an album. So, that made a lot more sense. And of course, people didn't. People are not going to actually think that he's pregnant because he's mad. But, with Spice, it's like, okay, so like, I understand, like, you saying that you've got a new life, but there are other ways that you can kind of allude to that. But saying that you're pregnant or showing that you're pregnant in a photo shoot, that's definitely misleading people.
She said that she had a sickness that was going to she didn't know she was going to make it out of the sickness. So when she got healed, it brought forth new life.
Oh no, you got a call.
He must have gotten a call.
Oh, we can hear you.
Yeah, I did get a call. Yeah. I noted quickly.
Yes, quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Okay, but yes, I just feel like you could have maybe been on your knees and put your prayer hands up and just been thankful for a new life. Thankful to God bless you with healing in your body.
Enjoy a good photo shoot.
Yes, we all enjoy like or you could just maybe put out there that I'm just from here going forward. I would not be taking life for granted. I mean, it could have been all the ways you could have expressed that, other than what if I was? I don't know. What if I was a woman who maybe I don't know. That could I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
What if you
I see exactly what you're saying. You are. I'm sorry, Joseph.
Yeah.
Joseph. Wrong person, Jonathan. Do it.
I was going to say what? I was just going to say there are other ways. Like she could have come out with a gospel song, or she could have done a lot of different things to thank the Lord for what it is that He brought to her. But, Jennifer,
I'm thinking about this gospel song, and it might sell more than somebody else's.
Well, we wouldn't understand that she's saying
anyway. No, Jennifer.
Well, at least it would have come from a more sincere place.
Well, yeah.
But my thing is this: she missed an opportunity to really connect with people. She could have shared her. She could have shared her issue. She could have shared the process that she went through and how she feels now. And once again, she could have had a song about that as well. Could have, what she was trying to do is add more attention, get more money. If she would have had a song and a post and all that stuff to go with all that, I think it would have been a lot smarter.
Yeah, you get everybody saying congratulations. When
maybe
you
it's like this America stuff. Maybe it's different out there.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Do that either. I don't see Shaggy up there.
Not Shaggy.
Okay, no. Sean Paul ain't doing this kind of stuff.
He would never.
Never. Okay, Sean Paul probably still counting his coin, honey, because he
still got new music and all that stuff. He's still doing.
Well, every once in a while, I look at the Jamaican top something, and to be honest, it'd be Sean Paul. It'd be Shaggy with It Wasn't Me song still in the top 4.
Right.
And then also, what's the man who passed away a long time ago with the
Bob Marley?
Bob Marley be on the top 10. Like 4 songs of his be on the top 10. So they are still getting paid because people are still downloading those songs.
Absolutely.
Right.
But yeah, Spice, please express yourself how you want to. But can you not be so extra? I mean, I can do what you want to do. I can see what I do though, but
man, for me, I'm like, all right, you ain't got no good friends over there. Be like, girl, this ain't no good idea. Your team is like, yeah, let's go and do it.
No accents now. This is why we need community.
No,
right.
Don't do that.
Absolutely. I have to tell everyone there is a moving on from that. There is a documentary on Netflix concerning Alec Murdaugh and everything that happened with his family. I suggest everyone go out and watch that. It's a 3-part series. It is very good. They talk to all of the people who were on the boat in that crash that happened with Paul. All of his friends that were on the boat. They spoke to all those people and their parents. And they get into all the other murders with Stephen Smith, which they are reopening his case. A lot of people are saying that Buster had something to do with this murder, as well as their housekeeper, Angela, who died, and the fact that, Alec did that lawsuit. He won the case and kept all the money. So everybody go out and see that. There's also a new documentary on Little Richard that is coming out on HBO Max next month. Y'all be on the lookout for that as well. And so before we get to our social commentary, which is going to be SWV versus and Xscape, there is something going on with Tamar and Kandi. Tamar was on Watch What Happens Live, and there was a fan who asked her a question about who she was alluding to as far as a housewife who might have threatened her in some way. And she said that it was Kandi. And so Tamar came out on Instagram and explained what happened. They were backstage at some show. I can't remember exactly where they were. But Tamar had been on this Dish network show. She's apparently
This Nation.
This Nation show. And they were discussing on this Nation show the fact that Carlos King and Kandi were at odds because Carlos allegedly tried to steal Kandi and was it Kandi and Xscape's story?
Xscape's story, yeah.
Tried to steal their story, and so that's why Kandi is not here for him. And Tamar's response was she felt like Kandi was putting 20 on 10, and saying that there are other documentaries or there are other stories about famous people out here that are not authorized by the people that they are done about. And so, this happens all the time. And so Kandi took a slight to that and said, I don't F with you. And she also said that Todd said something to her, something threatening towards her. And so what are we thinking about this case? Do we think that Kandi is overreacting to this issue? Because, when something happens to Kandi, she ain't never going to let it go. Do you think Tamar was wrong in saying that, it kind of sounded like she was on Carlos' side in this case? What do y'all think about this?
Well, I mean, both of them drama queens.
That's true.
So it's like when I'm gonna go hit Tamar first. Okay. I love both ladies. I'll just say to put that out there first. But I know Tamar is sometimes extra. And what if I just said shut up and don't ever talk to me again, or else? Is that considered to be a threat? Like, what did he say that was threatening? Now, if he's talking about whoop your ass, then that's the threat. Yes, I can understand that.
Right.
But I do know sometimes people can say something and then people will say, is that a threat? It wasn't even nothing as a threat at all. Now, do I think Kandi probably cursed her out and said, I ain't gonna F with you no more? Probably. Yes. I think Todd probably had Kandi back and probably said the same thing. Yes. Is that a threat? No. But would you be pissed off with them? Maybe. I mean, maybe so. I don't know. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hit Kandi real quick. Now, Kandi, just because you mad at somebody on me, everybody in the world got to be mad at them now.
Right.
Okay? So, I mean, yes, I do know that she said Carlos King tried to get the Xscape story and put it out there. But, if Tamar was on the interview and there's a topic of discussion, she doesn't have to be on your side. She said Carlos King is her friend, too. Mm-hmm. So it probably was damn if she do, damn if she don't. I don't see Carlos King being mad, at whatever Kandi say about him. So he just let it go and let it fly. So I think it's just both of them. I think they're both two grown ladies who just making nonsense out of nothing, to be honest. That's what I really feel like. Just girl on both sides, just let it go. If you don't want to F with Tamar, then don't F with Tamar. If you don't want to F with Kandi and Todd, don't F with Kandi and Todd.
Don't. There's no need to speak on it.
Yeah, Tamar's doing so good, girl.
I don't even think I've heard Carlos addressing this. Has he even addressed this at all?
I believe he tried to do it. As knowing Carlos King, I believe he did try to take Kandi's story.
I believe it as well.
Yeah, I believe it as well. So if I was him, I wouldn't address it either.
Yeah, the reason why I believe it is because
it's Carlos King.
He went right. That's number one. Number two, he went to her mother. Basically tried to trick her into just telling the whole story about it so that he can get more information. And you've been working with the man. That's the problem. You've been working with the man. Y'all have made money together and everything, but you go behind my back to do this.
Right.
I do find that as an attack, and I do think that's worthy of not messing with him. As far as Tamar, likening into that, to be honest, I believe that Tamar was just talking because if somebody that you called a friend that is a producer tried their best to get the whole Braxton family story to create a movie and make some money off of it, she'd feel away as well.
If she should feel away, because what they did put out on Lifetime was a mess.
MESS. But the thing is, I believe when when Tamar wants to
go in on somebody.
Yeah. I just feel like she just takes things a little bit too far. I feel like she's still in the process of learning, but those things that's within her is still within her. So
now I will say
things be happening.
aside from the trash talking, besides what the beef was and why they mad at each other, Tamar was going off on Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, call Kandi for somebody who really cannot sing a song. She would have got a lot to say about music in the industry. That's what Tamar said on social media. Then say, you know what? I did a lot of growth for myself. I'm going to stop. I'm moving on from here. I'm not going. You already did enough already.
You already crossed the line, and the problem for me is it's really difficult to speak on things that you haven't accomplished yourself, but you trying to take down other people. So for her to say that, oh, she's done all this and she can't, if she's speaking from a person that can't sing, it's like this person that can't sing has sold millions of albums.
And you opening up for the person that can't sing. Now, how does that sound?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. She's one of those people that like to cut off their nose to spite their face, or just slap the hand that feeds them.
Because I believe they're both on a tour together right now.
Yes,
they got a show with Tusa thing. Yes,
where Xscape is in big letters over here, and Tamar is all the way down here. That's not
true. She ain't far down there now. She's right,
she's right here.
Okay.
but the thing is, it's like you can't try to take some arrows and try to hit everybody that's above you to try to bring them down to you. Now, Kandi, she ain't no better in my opinion, but something tells me that she believes that if she doesn't say anything, I guess people will look at her crazy. But to be honest, what I would have done is treat her like a little sister. It's what my mother says. It's really difficult to argue by yourself.
Right. Here with the Beyonce thing, you won't get that word from me.
Not one.
Exactly. Tyrone, what do you think about this situation?
Absolute rubbish and foolishness.
Well, let's move on to some more foolishness with the escaping SWV child.
Now the I will say that the first scene of this new episode, the third episode with Taj and Tasha at this Black music museum. I watched a reviewer and they said that this kind of humanized Tasha because Tasha wasn't in her rah-rah lying phase. She seemed like a nice girl, like a girl that, you want to get to know. And I think maybe Taj might bring that out of people because when you deal with Taj deals with you on a human level. Taj is like a people person and Taj really just sets the room. Whenever she walks into it, that's why she was the one that brought the girls together to have that original meeting on the first episode because Taj is that girl.
Let me tell you something. If someone shows you who they really are, believe them. It doesn't matter if you get with one person and you use somebody else, but when you get around the other person,
But then Tasha
is not nobody's friend.
Tasha had the nerve to tell Taj about her wanting to get a solo deal when she hasn't even discussed it with anybody in Xscape. Like, wait a minute. Why do you feel so comfortable telling someone in another group before you even tell your own group members?
Because Taj didn't get no closed mouth and she knows gonna get out. So she used Taj to get it to the other people.
Oh, that's what you think.
I think
there's a chance that Tasha didn't even want to tell them. It's like, well, you can tell them.
Well, yeah. I think she's not talking to him anyway. So why would she tell him?
That does make perfect sense.
Here's the thing. Taj is more integral.
Mm-hmm.
And so she likes to keep everything 100.
Right.
Where Tasha is like, I'm gonna hold these cards until you make me cough it up.
Right.
Here's the issue with that. You holding all these cards. Everybody else is playing. If we playing spades, you reneging.
That's true.
Straight up.
That's true.
And it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you.
I think she's like everybody do her dirty work.
Right. And I love the fact that Taj picked up on the fact that Tasha was lying about the issues between her and Tamika because Tasha was like, what's going on between y'all? And then Tasha was like, well, she disrespected my mother. And Tasha was like, okay, this can't be the reason why y'all are having all this issue. And then Tasha said, well, it's because she body shamed me And Charles once again said, "Body, no, that can't be it either." So Taj called her on her BS, and I love the fact that Taj kept it real with her in that sense. But
what I saw in it was also Tasha couldn't run no more. She had to face everything because she's calling
she was
it out.
Supposed to be, cool with, okay with, and to talk to. So she had to say something.
She had to say something.
And that's true.
And her saying something, she looked like a fool.
But she looked like a fool regardless. She don't see nothing at all. So
because you gotta live your truth speaking to Taj. And if you're not living your truth, she's gonna sniff it out and keep picking at it until it comes to the surface.
I like those kind of people.
Well, the thing is, you're talking to two different people in the same industry. We ain't damn stupid either.
Okay.
No. And that's the other thing. You see the wisdom and the years of experience come out of Taj. And she's like, girl, really? Even when they were in the same setting with all four of them together, Taj is like,
you look out of it. Let's out of it.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Right.
And you trying to hide. There's nowhere to hide with somebody like this.
Right. Exactly.
And what?
So the next scene that I wanted to speak on is the scene between Tamika and her mother. Now, Tamika's mother, Miss Gloria, she walked up to the door with an attitude. And as she opened the door with an attitude, and then she went to screaming at the top of her lungs, saying, "I am the fifth member of Xscape. And I've been the fifth member of Xscape since I put that microphone in your hand. I've been the fifth member of Xscape since your daddy left us and didn't care if we had a pot to piss in and da-da-da-da-da.
Ding, 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 ding. That's the issue. That's the
obviously the issue.
And Tamika said it just right. Because I look like my daddy and I'm my daddy's girl. And that's the problem with the mother right there. Why are you always on your daddy's side? You always, you look just like your daddy, you acting like your daddy. Why you always go against me and go for your daddy? I don't agree with it, but I don't understand why she's mad now, because I see your daughter at the end of the day. But this is why, now I have an understanding of, this is why you treat Latasha better than you treat your daughter. Because your daughter, one of your daughters looks and acts just like your ex-husband. And you'd have, it's almost like Evelyn Braxton still got that hate for her husband and what he did to her.
Right.
And they couldn't be in the same room before while going off on each other. It's that same feeling.
Hands down.
As if he cheated on her yesterday.
Yes.
Right. It's still fresh.
So
it is still fresh to her.
I believe that this is the moment what that mother, her name was Miss Gloria.
Yes. Gloria, yes.
What Miss Gloria was saying in those spaces were truly exposing how she sees herself and what she sees herself as far.
She needs to go to counseling.
Yes, she needs assistance for how she sees herself. When she sees herself as a fifth member of Xscape,
that pissed me off right there.
She's basically living through her children.
Living vicariously through her daughters, right?
AKA, she has no identity. When she thinks about her child that looks like her father, it feels like the only thing that she identifies that child with is the past that hurt her so much. And she's not able to differentiate that trauma away from the child that came from that could.
Because that girl got nothing to do with it. That's still her daddy. Yeah.
She has nothing to do with that. And also, y'all, we about to have this interview tomorrow. I'm excited to hear what he has to say. Unfortunately, from what we're seeing, he's not exactly the happiest with what's being said about him. And he wants to basically get his side of the story out
as
there.
He should.
As he should. And another last thing, the people that we are now usually aren't the same people that we were 20 plus years ago.
I hope not.
And unfortunately, I feel that Miss Gloria is still in that space.
Absolutely.
20
plus years ago, decades, she's been staying in that space for so long, and she has not found Gloria. And my prayer for her is for her to find Gloria, because when she finds Gloria, she'll find a better mother, a better grandmother, a better person all the way around.
Right.
And the thing is, I'm not on Gloria's side at all, but I'm just trying to take
both sides. Yeah, come on.
Both sides. When she was a single, he left her, and she was a single mother, and she was a housewife, so she had to get up and work, and she probably didn't have time to even find herself. It was all about grind mode. I got 2 kids now. I got to make a living for us, cook. She probably didn't have time to even find herself. But my prayer for her, because I'm just going to pray for her now, because now that I see what the problem is, and I can kind of see why she acts the way she acts.
Absolutely.
I'm going to just pray that she finds peace and can move on, because she's carrying a weight that she needs to get rid of. And I'm glad that towards the end of that piece that they showed, where when Tamika's like, no, if you can't accept me for who I am, I'm going to step back. And I think that's when the light bulb went off for Miss Gloria, because that's when she's like, well, look, what does that mean? You're going to step back? You're right. I don't know. Light bulb went off in that moment. I think it turned off right after that. That's at the house.
Right.
Absolutely.
But she did say, you're my daughter. I love her, and I really think she feels that. But I think she still can't get over that husband hurt.
No. Just want to make sure I say, as she's going to bed, have a good night. Chronicles of the Gray-Haired Diva, Miss Diva herself.
Thank you for coming.
Yes.
She said she hit the like button, subscribed, and she is out of here. Y'all
Thank
be blessed. Have a
you.
good night. Aaron, of course, guided her way out of the church building. Aaron also says, yes, Jennifer. Yes, thank you. And she also said, hey to Aaron. Diva said, hey to Aaron. And Aaron says, praying for the whole family, praying for healing. Absolutely. And also, the Juice Radio and Talk Show says, I'm so ready for Pastor Scott's interview to hear what he has to say about this and more. And one thing the last thing I really did want to make sure I said before with Tyrone and what he wanted to say about it. I understand, with what she was left with. We have to understand that she was put in a space of trauma. But as people learn and grow and move forward and move on, it's like, what's kind of sad is that Pastor Randolph, he moved on with life. He even has 2 new children, that are young, and he, has a brand new wife and everything, and he's able to live life. I'm not even gonna put words in his mouth. We'll talk about this when we do that.
So join us on the Juice Radio and Talk Show tomorrow at 12 p.m. and there will be an interview going on with Pastor Randolph Scott.
Eastern Standard Time
on YouTube and Facebook.
12-ish.
12. Okay. But 12. Regina's good about her time. Regina is an on-time YouTuber. Okay, so
flexible.
You won't be waiting in the waiting room for the live to start. Okay.
And if it is, there's something technical going on, but it's gonna get worked out.
It's okay.
Stay tuned.
Right. Tyrone, any thoughts? Any thoughts on the mother before we move on to that meeting at the end of the show?
Yes, I absolutely cringe seeing her walk up to the front door.
Yeah.
Because I felt ill intentions from the start. I'm going to come in here and make her mind me was what I saw.
Right.
And then when she was faced with her daughter's truth,
yes.
You don't see me, Mom. Is what I heard.
Right.
And she's like, what do you mean I don't see you? I've been here all night. I'm your mother. No. Yes, you're my mother, but who I am to you is more than just your daughter.
I'm your father's child, your ex-husband's child to you.
And for her to say, hey, maybe it's time for me to step away. Yes, you're right, Mike. A light bulb went off. The light bulb was, oh no, another person is leaving me.
Right.
Another person is about to walk out of my life. Let me get right for right now.
For the moment.
For the moment, to make sure this connection remains here in place, because I need her.
Right.
It's not about my daughter is needing me right now. No, it's about me.
Child.
And
Exactly.
it makes me cringe because it's like your daughter was crying for your love, and you were like, I love you, but
you right.
It's surface level love. Where's the depth of your love for your daughter as she's been hurting? And when she tells you, hey, mama, this happened to me, you're like, nah, girl, that ain't happened. Nah, you're so dismissive.
And you don't validate your child.
And you don't validate, you don't even investigate it, not even one bit, because
that's so sad.
What she sees is, I'm not your favorite. And you're showing it. That's the worst part about it is, as a parent, when you show the favoritism and the children can feel it and see it, and it starts to mess with them internally. And at that point, it's you versus them. And in that sense, they're going to choose themselves.
Exactly.
Yes. And for time's sake, go ahead.
Regina had said, but the mom but the mom has remarried too.
I didn't know that. Husband not satisfying the hurt and giving her comfort. Well, she can't fully give him everything when she's not over the first one.
Exactly.
And it's apparent.
It's a tough hurdle to hop over, but guess what? You still got to dust yourself off and get back up on it and keep pushing. Right. If you don't have the tools to take on it yourself, you need to get help.
But in her day, that wasn't the case. People not trying to do that. But Aaron had said, that breaks my heart. I pray that watching this, I pray that watching this back helps them reflect and take time to move forward in a better way, healthier. Praying for this family.
Yes. Absolutely. For the last 3 minutes now, just a quick question. I know this is what Johnson getting to. What do you guys think? Should it be a co-headline or should Xscape headline and SWV featured?
Now, for me, with it being a one night only type of deal, I feel as though it is better for them to co-headline because, it's not a show after show after show after show where you're both getting the same amount of money. So it's just one show. You're only doing this one time for this show. So why not co-headline? Now, Kandi came out and explained her reasoning for why she felt like Xscape should get top billing. And I get it. I really do understand that the draw is going to come from Kandi and Tiny because they are the ones that we see on TV. They're the ones that we are more familiar with nowadays. So I really, really do get that. I understand that. However, for this one night only type of gig, and I understand that Xscape has been on top billing in the past when SWV has been on the same show, but at the same time, it's a one-time show. You can take if it's a pay cut that you're taking, Kandi, you got the most money out of all these girls. You can take that pay cut, honey.
I agree. And I do understand where Kandi is coming from, but I think it's do this for the culture. I think artists, if you really want to do something with a group or whatever, they will take a cut for one night because it's just for the culture. This will be talked about years from now. This is probably the only time this will ever happen where SWV and Xscape can be in one room hitting all these songs. And to be honest, Kandi, we as people who purchase tickets, we don't give a F if your name is the biggest name up there or the smallest name. As long as your name is out there, and we will be there. You can. Okay.
Exactly. So for this show that's out now, there are some people that might just be going to see Tamar. You know what I'm saying? They might just want to see. I think it's either 112 or Jagged Edge, one of them those male groups that are on the tour as well. So it's like different people are going to see you going there. Different fans are going there to see different artists. So at the end of the day, like it's just a one-time thing. You can take the thing.
And Kandi, let me just say this right here. I know Xscape is on it right at this very second. But just know you would not get no top billing if it was Destiny's Child or TLC or anything. So just be happy, girl, that you doing something. Like don't get the too big of a head, like because that's such a turnoff for a lot of people. And from what I see in them comments, it was probably 98% SWV needed to be top billing and 2% Xscape. From where I read the comments, because people were like, you will not do Taj, Lily, and Coco, and then for Coco, Taj, and Lily to step into the scene and make comments on social media, you really have pissed them off. And I think that it doesn't matter if Xscape is doing their thing right now. SWV has been doing their thing for the last
30 years,
10 plus years. When they came back as a group, they was getting it. I don't remember when Alicia Keys did this female group thing. I don't remember her calling it Xscape for them to bring them on stage.
Oh,
okay. And let me tell you, and there was a Nene, you would have a beat going if it wasn't for Kandi and if it wasn't for you being on a reality TV, girl. So okay. So girl, don't get the big head.
Child.
So we tired you doing the same dance moves and singing the same songs already on every tour. So girls, hush your mouth.
Child. Jennifer, Tyrone, any thoughts on this before we head out?
I agree with everything you guys said. I just don't like the back and forth. I just think all of it is just petty, and it's like it was something that wasn't even going to happen. It's not even happening apparently, or from what we see. So why are we still arguing back and forth about it?
Right.
Wow. So
go ahead. I'm sorry.
First off, I hate the fact that they only had 30 days to decide on that. I think that's a little too rushed to come up with, even if it was a co-ed show. Like it's just too much to try and rush and do. I know you can do it. You have the ability to do it. Y'all have the talent for it. Business-wise, is always the thing that holds up things in the music industry is business.
Right.
It ain't like they put on no big production anyway. Neither one of the groups. So I don't know what the hell it was taking so long for them to just go to an auditorium and just go on the stage. Cause ain't like y'all get no big screens or anything like that. All y'all got is lights and the mic.
Lights, mic, and a fan, child.
Okay. Well, not all of them got a fan.
And a nice little costume or something. That's about it.
So, Mike, go ahead and give us your social media contacts before we get out of here.
Yes, my social media contacts will be Mr. Real 121. That's MRREAL 121. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and also Twitter.
Jennifer, Tyrone.
And Aaron, I'm still Team Teresa and her husband.
Wow. The feud's on. My name is Jennifer. I'm the Light of the Leo. Won't you join me on the Light of the Leo on YouTube? Make sure you put the @ the Light of the Leo with no spaces. Or you can also find me at TikTok at the Light of the Leo, as well as Instagram at the Light of the Leo. I don't have a whole lot to say. I'm so sleepy. Y'all see me yawning and all that stuff.
I'm yawning too.
And I got some Coca-Cola chicken on the stove.
Oh, okay.
That needs to be ate. You know what I'm saying? I need to make the rice and the little vegetables. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to eat.
Yeah.
Tyron, what are your social media contacts, my good
It's
sir?
your boy Tyron, aka Mr. TD McCullum. You can find me on all of Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mr. TD McCullum. You can find my music on all your favorite musical streaming platforms.
Yay!
Yes. You guys can follow me on Instagram, jojo_speaks 3020. I'm on Facebook, Jonathan Lee. You can also email me, williamjonathanlee@gmail.com. Jennifer, you want to get these last comments out the way before we head on out and hit
subscribe to this channel?
Absolutely. Please. You guys, first of all, make sure that you guys subscribe and make sure to hit that notification bell. And also, I did say subscribe. Lord, it's time for me to go to lay down. All right. So Aaron says definitely understand what Kandi was saying, but it should be co-headlining, and I do agree. We apparently agree with each other.
Paid something.
Exactly, and I think that's just one of those things where you have to just take a step back and do it for the sake of the people. That's how I feel. Right. But Regina said, "How about they just donate the money to a needed charity?" Yeah, sounds awesome.
Well, Tasha already donated her money. Tamika already donated her money.
Okay, unwillingly. And still had to pay taxes on that bug. That's a mess.
that made you want to fight. And she didn't even tell her husband. And now he know. Whew, Lord, God bless them. Regina said, "How would Kandi feel if she was touring with another group that was larger than Xscape? Would she want equal money?"
She would. Trust me.
Child.
You can be one person on that group. It ain't got to be another group. It could be Beyonce and Kandi. Just know you will never. They wouldn't even be able to perform a stage that big. They wouldn't know what to do with it.
Child.
Just think about all those tours. I'm thinking about the Formation tour. I don't even know what would they do with the space.
Taylor Swift is on tour now, and I'm watching on TikTok. And even her tour is like
huge.
I'm not a Swiftie, but I do like Taylor Swift.
She got money.
But her shows. Oh, this is with Aaron's a Swiftie.
Mm-hmm.
It looks very like Beyonce level shows. Mm-hmm. Yes, I was very surprised and actually amazed.
Let me tell you, if I went to that show, I think the only song I'd be there for is some of her really old stuff, that love story stuff.
First album, yes.
Yeah. And
she wears short skirts, I wear t-shirts. She's cheerleading and I'm on the bleachers.
Yes. And also Bad Blood. I like that song.
And we are never ever getting back together. That's one of my
never ever getting back together.
Yes.
Now that's a song.
That is a song.
That
was a moment. That was a hit.
We see. We get you.
Okay. She said, "Another great night, Aaron. You're so sweet to us."
Thank you.
She said, "LOL, Mike. Still no to Joe. Love Melissa and Teresa."
Melissa is a mess and fake and phony.
And Aaron also says, "I love Taylor Swift. She is such a Swiftie. I love it." Oh gosh, I'm not hosting this show. I'm gonna shut up.
It's okay. Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to subscribe, press the thumbs up button, comment, press the notification bell, and share. Until next time, we will see you next week. Same time, same place, same beautiful